Namaste and welcome to my thesis presentation. My name is Ayushi Chaturvedi. The topic of my thesis is Planning for Urban Industrial Growth, a case of Shahjahanpur Neemrana Behror Urban Complex. I have conducted my study under the guidance of Professor Somnath Sen. The entire presentation has been divided into 7 sections as shown on the screen. Metropolitan and Class 1 cities have become saturated due to rapid industrialization and urbanization. Industries are now moving towards smaller cities and towns. This has brought an opportunity to expand urbanization beyond the limits of bigger towns. Industrialization and urbanization have been treated as two different spatial planning exercises in India up till recent times. This has resulted in urbanization that is unplanned and de-linked from industrial development. While planning for industrial development, it is imperative to take into account the surrounding region for a holistic development. The study area is the master plan area of Shahjahanpur Neemrana Behror Urban Complex. It is located along the National Highway number 8 in the Alwar district of Rajasthan. The aim is to study the existing growth pattern of the town cluster and make planning interventions to promote urban industrial growth in the region. To achieve this, three broad objectives have been identified. Number one, to study the industrial growth pattern of the towns and their interaction with each other. Number two, to identify the potential areas for future development of industries and create a framework for their development. Number three, to prepare a zoning atlas for the industries in the identified area and recommend planning guidelines. This flowchart shows the methodology followed for this study. The following topics were studied as the part of the literature review: zoning atlas for siting of industries, relevant policy initiatives, linking urbanization and industrialization, classification of industries, industrial ecology, and the cluster theory. Creating a zoning atlas is based on the following objectives: to zone and categorize a region or district's environment, to identify the location for siting of industries, to prepare a catalogue of industries according to their suitability in the identified location. The inferences derived from the case studies have been summarized in this table. This table describes the primary data collection process, why certain data were required, the sources and means, and the inferences that were drawn from them. Similarly, this table gives the description of the secondary data that was collected. The inferences drawn from the data analysis have been summarized in these points. There is a need to identify land for future development. Housing stock does not match the housing demand. There's an absence of public transportation for intra-town movement. There's a lack of proper education and skill development institutions. There is no business district present. There is a lack of recreation and green spaces. Identification of developable land. National Highway number 8 passes through the study area. It connects the study area to Delhi in the north and to Jaipur and Mumbai in the south. A state highway which runs in the west connects it to the proposed Aerotropolis site. The regional rapid transit system from Delhi has a stop in the study area which further takes it to Alwar where it terminates. Considering the physical features, existing settlements, and the alignment of transportation lines, developable land has been identified. This map shows the developable land, the alignment of the National Highway and RRTS. The main focus of this framework is building with the existing advantages of the region, the three core components of development with the idea of industrialization and urbanization in mind are business, people, and environment. Business or industries, in this case, the manufacturing industries and the services, people whose life we are trying to improve, and the environment which we are trying to protect. The framework is a 5-step program. First step is selecting the focus area. It can be a specific location, a zone, one or more sectors, or the entire district. Second step is defining the context. A description on the present and past conditions of the focus area should be prepared. Third is setting up goals. This step involves identifying clear goals specific to the context of the focus area. The next step is identifying assets and challenges. And the last step is selection of right tools. Various goals have been identified under each of the three components. Under industries, three goals have been identified: to attract new industries, to retain and expand existing manufacturing units, and to infill the vacant plots. For people, five goals have been identified: high quality housing, improving transportation, provide them with advanced education and skill development, planning for commercial district and mixed land use, and open spaces and recreation. For the environment, four goals have been identified: preserve and protect the natural environment, compatibility of adjacent land use, reduction of environmental pollution, and development control regulations. The proposal is divided into three parts: zoning atlas, broad land use map, and transportation network. These steps have been followed for preparing the zoning atlas. The first step is classification of industries. This has been done on the basis of the pollutants that they emit and the waste that they generate. According to the solid waste generation, industries are divided in the following three categories. Another three categories have been made according to the water pollution. Classification has also been done on the basis of air pollution. Air pollution is multifaceted. Every industry generates more than one type of pollution. The table shows various possible combinations of these categories. Based on this, five zones have been defined. Zone 5, which is the red zone, will house the most polluting industries. Zone 4, which is the yellow zone, will house the medium polluting industries, whereas Zone 3, which is the green zone, will house cleaner industries. Zone 2 will house buffer areas and green belts, and Zone 1 will house residential area, commercial areas, institution, mixed use, etc. The next step is site suitability, which is identifying suitable location for each of the zones. This flow diagram shows the various factors that affect site suitability, like the physical features, existing settlements, the incompatible land uses, the areas that need to be avoided based on the air pollution and surface water pollution sensitivity. The final step is creating the zoning atlas. As you can see, the red zone, the most polluting zone, has been located at a distance from the river and the Aravali Hills as well as most of the settlements. Thus, Zone 4, which houses the moderating polluting industries, is located between Zone 1 and 2 and the Zone 5, still being significantly away from the river and existing settlements. Zone 3, buildings in this would be the ones that are least polluting. They may not be hardcore manufacturing units, but establishments such as assembling units, warehouses, repair shops, etc. This would also provide a transition between the industrial land use and other land uses. Zone 4. For the purpose of this study, Zone 4 is restricted to providing green buffer to the national highway. Zone 1. This zone includes the residential areas, the central business district, recreational facilities, and institution. The zone is expanded in a way that growth direction would lead to create a united city including the present-day Neemrana and Shahjahanpur. This schematic would allow uniform development on either side of the national highway and the RRTS corridor. This is how the phase 1 of the development will look, and this is the second phase. Next is the land use plan. The image here shows land use cross section. It suggests How various land uses should be located with respect to each other. This is the land use map that has been generated. The table here shows area and percentage of developed land under each land use category. The proposal of transportation network has been divided under 5 headings. The table here shows the road hierarchy, the width and green buffer or plantation required for each of the categories. This map shows the road hierarchy and identifies major transport nodes. Following points have been given to promote non-motorized transportation and traffic segregation. Road section for arterial and subarterial roads have been shown here. 5 major intervention points have been identified and planning guidelines have been suggested for them. These are housing, the industrial land use, planning for the central business district, and the education district. The study area has a hot and dry climate. Through these obligatory provisions, we wish to harness as much solar energy as we can, conserve rainwater, and increase green cover. The proposals and recommendations made with respect to the goals have been summarized in this table. Concluding this presentation, I would like to say that planning for small towns and rural areas adjacent to booming industrial zones would not only benefit the economy but also improve the quality of life. Efforts need to be made to create a holistic plan for both industrial growth and urbanization that occurs due to its influence. Here is a list of my references. Thank you.